A lot of people have been pointing out that there is this supposed connection between Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and the attempted assassination of Donald Trump on the 13th of July this year, so I wanted to go over what this is all about. So a lot of people are saying that this would-be assassin, of course, just missed former President Donald Trump, but he may have had a member of the royal family in his sights if things had gone differently. On the 13th of July, former President Donald Trump was shot at his campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the shooter was called Thomas Matthew Crooks. He was killed by Secret Service agents. He was shot in the head in response on the day of the assassination attempt. Now, this was a major security failing, and the chief of the security service has since stepped down. She resigned after this failing. After reportedly firing 5 rounds and injuring Trump since the assassination attempt, the FBI has searched Crooks's 2 phones as well as his laptop and found images of Trump on those devices along with other political figures, as well as purportedly downloaded photos of President Joe Biden, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and FBI Director Christopher Wray. However, there were also photos of one well-known public figure from outside of the United States, and that was Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Now, the intentions of the shooter and the reasons why he attempted to assassinate Donald Trump are still unknown, and it is quite worrying that they then found pictures of other people that could possibly have been targets on his phone as well, and having Catherine, the Princess of Wales on there is very worrying and will indeed raise questions for security members for the royal family. Crooks's motivations for the shooting, as I just said, are still unknown as of the making of this video, and the photos of the public figures only raise more questions. It is eerie to consider how many different ways this incident could have played out, and indeed if Trump hadn't turned his head to look at the graph on his right when he did, then this could have been very different indeed, and is surely a frightening reminder to those in charge of security for the royal family. Now, it's easy to assume that an attempted assassination on a political candidate for the president, a presidential hopeful, would be a politically charged act. However, according to NPR, the investigation into Crooks shows that he isn't actually even a very particularly politically motivated person. Members of his family shared with investigators that Crooks wasn't one to talk about politics, although he was a registered Republican, but he had also donated to some Democratic campaigns. However, Crooks did search for the dates of events where Donald Trump would be present, as well as the dates for the Democratic National Convention and where Joe Biden would be present as well. He also reportedly searched major depressive disorder, and the former Assistant Secretary for the Department of Homeland Security, Juliet Chaim, told CNN this may be a situation where the more we know, the less we understand about the exact reason why. Meanwhile, former FBI profiler Mary Ellen O'Toole thinks that the shooting gave Crooks incredible attention, and that is the reason why he did it, catapulting him to a point that that's why he chose, events with Donald Trump, and that's why he was searching for other public figures like President Joe Biden and Kate Middleton, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and this may have been on Crooks' mind leading up to his attack on Donald Trump. The assassination attempt indeed seemingly came out of nowhere, which makes it all the more concerning that investigators are struggling to find a motive, and it also doesn't help alleviate these heightened fears that another high-profile shooting could happen at any time, and that's almost certainly playing into the thinking behind royal family security, as well as having an effect on those in charge of royal family security, and hopefully it will be stepped up a bit to prevent anything like this, although of course in the UK we don't have as regular gun access as in the US. And indeed, this has been backed up by some royal commentators coming out and giving their thoughts on the whole situation. For example, Rafe Haydel Manku told GB News, "This does actually raise the issue of how secure are members of our royal family." He continued on to say, "Moments like this actually make me wonder if this thing could get so close to President Trump. In America, do we actually need to consider the relationship that we have with the monarchy, like the ability to go out freely and shake hands and present a bunch of flowers to them, When King Charles III, of course, and Queen Camilla were in Jersey for the engagement the day following the Donald Trump rally shooting, the couple was escorted into a hotel due to a security threat. So this is all could ramp up security for the royal family and make them consider whether going out and speaking so freely to members of the public is a good idea, although of course in the United Kingdom things aren't quite as tense as they are in the US right now. During that situation in Jersey, it was determined that the environment was then quite safe fairly quickly, and the pair continued with their engagement, and former BBC royal correspondent Michael Cole told GB News that he's sure there is a sort of heightened sense of security concern because of events in America. He noted, however, that Charles is used to this level of security concern, being monarch and being Prince of Wales for so long, but it's still clear that those in charge of protecting the royal family have taken note of the assassination attempt across the pond, as well as the shooter's focus on Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So who really knows what this could all lead to? In my opinion, it would possibly be a good idea to review the security of the royal family after these events, and especially the ability of the shooter to get so close without anybody doing anything. Police were notified minutes before by people standing and pointing at him on the roof. They were actually saying, look, there's a guy up on the roof, he's lying on the roof, and they couldn't see possibly a gun, but it's very suspicious that someone would be lying on a roof with a clear view of Donald Trump. Apparently the Secret Service snipers were aware of him, they'd seen him an hour before milling around the area, so he was a person of interest, and it just is all the more reason to review these security measures, because it is really frightening that someone could get that close to a political assassination, and with the shooter having pictures of Catherine, the Princess of Wales on as well, that does make me very worried. And this heightened sense of security that King Charles and Queen Camilla then had to be escorted into a hotel the day after the shooting due to security concerns, that does make me worried as well. So I do think there needs to be this kind of review of security measures for the royal family and what they could do going forward in the future. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on this whole situation, possibly the motives behind the shooting. Did he just want attention, and why he might have had Catherine's pictures on his phone as well? That is very worrying. But we can only hope that the security services surrounding the royal family are competent, and I'm sure they are, and we just hope for the best during these events and things like this. The US does have quite a history of political violence as well, so I'm sure that plays a big part into it. There have been several political assassination attempts, and indeed successful assassinations against presidents, so that also plays a factor into it, I'm sure. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to read them. What do you think the intentions behind this were? Was it to actually make a political statement, or was it just to get attention onto himself? And what do you think about the pictures of other people, including Catherine, the Princess of Wales, on his phone as well? Does that make you worried? And do you think the security services surrounding the royal family are good enough? Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear your insights on that, and give me some information that I might not know as well. So do let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Join me on Patreon as well, or you can join the membership on my channel if you want some extra perks. But as always, you just watching to the very end is amazing for me. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.